Puntland when he goes back in the January election, and we would then say we actually interviewed a president. Well, you know, that would be a great pride for Channel S. You would have even had the chance to speak to one. Not every day such an opportunity come. Why don't you give us a call and ask your question or challenge this man who's sitting right next to me, Nuruddin. He is going to stand in the coming election in Somalia. Don't go too far away. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to discuss further the solutions, and we want to hear from you about some solutions that you think we should pursue. Thank you. Assalamu alaikum. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Welcome back. We're talking about Somalia and its future. It's interesting, isn't it? Somalia is a country that sits at a very strategic location. It's called the Horn of Africa. Right at the corner of Africa, facing Indian Ocean. And amazing location. A country with thousands of kilometers of seafront. A country that is 100% Muslim, 100% Sunni, and, believe it or not, 100% Shafi'i. That's unbelievable. By sect, by religion, and by its makeup, it's just beyond belief. And you know, it's only 9 million total population, and yet Somalis are divided deeply, so divided that to bring them to their knees, it didn't take much. A war-stricken, hunger-stricken, drought-ridden Ethiopia could come and do it very quickly. Unbelievable. We have associated Ethiopia with drought and famine, not invasion. Such a country could take Somalia just without even blinking an eyelid. It's unbelievable. That's what happens when you are so disunited from within. That's what Nuruddin said earlier on, corrupt from within, infrastructure not in existence, and a country that has been in war, disunited, with no systems. Are you surprised? And he's blaming you, the Somalis, for not doing enough for your own country. Is that right?
That is correct.
Go on then, tell the Somalis what can they do. You are now a presidential candidate. If you become the president, what can they do to help Somalia?
First of all, we can reconcile. All of us, whether we live inside Somalia and outside Somalia, we can stand up and contribute to those messages that make a reconciliation real. We can reconcile. Say enough is enough, drop our guns, believe in the country to be enough for all of us, and reconcile everybody. Peace at last. Secondly, we can contribute. There are a lot of people who can make a difference, who live in the West, in the rest of the world, in Africa, in the Gulf countries, and inside Somalia. We need to stand up for the roles that we can do. And I think where it is really glaringly obvious that we are lacking a big role is the leadership at different levels, whether it's a political leadership at national level and local level and regional levels, whether it is leadership, the business leadership, the social sector leaders, and we can make a lot of difference. And I think it is us through this generation, which I belong to, the younger generation, that got the opportunity to be educated in Somalia, to live in the world and know how the world works now.
How old are you, by the way?
I'm 40.
Okay, young, of course. But like they say, prophethood began at 40. What makes you and I think that a dramatic change in the land of Somalia could not be brought about by a young man, or young woman for that matter, 40 years old and indeed ambitious, wants to become the president of a state, Puntland state. Are you from the Somalia itself? Are you from a different part of Somalia? Maybe Somaliland. Maybe you come from the south, Mogadishu. But the trouble is, why don't you give us a call? We would love to hear from you and your solutions. Do you agree with the reconciliation project and program that Nuruddin is proposing? How can we reconcile while we see deeply inflammatory action of a corrupt government? Maybe that's what you are wanting to ask. Let's ask you then a couple of other questions before we finish the program. So are you going to run to America and Britain straight after your success if you become the president for recognition, support, and monetary assistance?
No, we have a lot of priorities. The first priority is what I said, is the reconciliation. We need to reconcile.
Answer my question. I'm not going to let you go. Are you going to run straight to America and Britain and the powers to be of the world